Today we will discuss about the water pollution, and it is the very much relevant and the burning topic nowadays because water is polluted. Water is chemically H2O and it is a universal solvent. It can very easily get polluted, and water contains various type of pollutants in which we have all the minerals, all the organic compounds, all the biodegradable and non biodegradable waste. Now we discuss the contents of the water pollution. Introduction, then definition of water pollution, the causes of water pollution, effects, control measures, and the references we have. Now, introduction. Now, water is a precious resource, as we all know, on the earth, because without water we cannot live without day. Water is getting polluted day by day, as you all know, by the excessive use and the careless use of various chemicals, pesticides, and other things, which make the percent of available drinking water less to us. The potable water is very much less to us. There are many much ways through which the water pollution and the its effects can be controlled. अगर हम water pollution को control कर देंगे तो बहुत सारी disease को we can control in the living and the non living organisms. Now, in the water pollution, we can define the definition. It is very much important, and it is also defined in the Water Pollution Prevention Control Act 1972 and 1977 Amendment Act. Water pollution can be defined as any solid, liquid, gaseous contaminants in which the concentration that may alter but the quality of water is changed. It is जो pollutant है that may be solid, liquid or gaseous contaminant which added to the water and may alter its color, taste, appearance, odor, and when these substances are added to the water they create the change in physical, chemical and biological characteristics of water. So water pollution can be defined as in addition to this above definition, that water is an excessive material of or heat. Water contains some excessive material or heat that is harmful for the living organisms, in which also impairs the beneficial uses of water which are beneficial to us. Now there are four types of forms of water which are the purest form of water, that is rain and snow, then sleet is a, we can say that crystals of ice, solid form of ice, then hailstorms, you all know, जिनको हम ओले बोलते हैं. So the precipitation or the rains come in the all different terms. In some areas it is in the form of rain, that is in the form of drops, then snow in the Himalayan region or the mountainous region, sleet, and sleet after that the hail in storms in the tropical region also. Then what are the basic causes of the water pollution? The principle of the water pollution results in the addition of some pollutants. Now what are these pollutants? Now domestic waste is the pollutant, sewage systems, solids waste, industrial waste, then acid rain is caused. Acid rain also causes water pollution. Then oil industries, aquatic plants, these all are the basic causes of the water pollution. Now we can see here easily that the domestic waste, the dumping of household water into the water bodies, all the water bodies like pond, lakes, reservoirs, canals, we put some of the household things directly from our homes to the water bodies, and it is not creating some kind of noxious effect, because biodegradable waste also produces some odor and increases the biological oxygen demand. Now second cause is the sewage waste, as you see the picture. Now the domestic sewage coming from the homes without treatment or without any kind of change in it is directly thrown into the rivers or the water bodies, and which creates a water pollution. Now the solid waste, which is the most produced by the countries nowadays as the population increases, the plastic, paper, all the agricultural industrial waste is increased, and this solid waste causes the blockage in the water bodies or the blockage in the we can see that blockage because plastic is there, it is the main source of blockage. It blocks our pipes and chokes also the water bodies. It also causes the air pollution if it is burnt. The polythene is the biggest solid waste, and which is not helpful, that creates some kind of the chemical pollution also in the water. And then causes of the water pollution, that is industrial waste, that is the major pollution that coming from the paper waste, rubber, metallic, aluminum industry, mining industry, that directly pollutes the water. Then acid rain. Acid rain is the rain that has a pH less than 5.6, because of the industries, the sulfur dioxide, the carbon monoxide, nitrous oxide gases coming to the air, and with the help of rain or some sleet, they forms the sulfuric acid or nitric acid, and then they goes to the water body and create some kind of the water pollution. And in this way, the aquatic life is also very much hindered. Now, sixth cause is the oil industry. In oil industry, we can see that mostly the oil is extracted from the Bombay High and all other areas which are having the sand or water in it. So oil industry is also creating so much of the water pollution. As I told you, the marine pollution, in the marine pollution 12% is the sourced by the oil spillage of the ships. So oil, when the transportation is done by the ships, they have to million tons of oil in with them to move for the 42, because they remain on the 6 to 1 hour 1 year on the on the oceans. So they contain very much reservoir of the diesel and oil with them. And with any kind of accidental activity or the breakage or any kind of the we can say that cyclonic activity, the oil spills on the water and creates marine pollution. Now in this way, you can see the water is mixed with the oil, and it changes its characteristics, and there is a accident or wreckage through which the you can see the oil spill on the water body and its color changes to green. Then aquatic plants, the eutrophication process in which the water hyacinth and the other aquatic plants become the noxious effect for us, because they grow on the surface of the water and also create some kind of the pollution. It is long lived plants which grow faster than the other water bodies and absorb the essential nutrients from the water, and it becomes fatal for the marine life. And it is also known the terror of Bengal due to its abundance. So water hyacinth and other elements. We can also see the aquatic plants on the Dal Lake. Various lakes are affected in Udaipur and Jammu and Kashmir. You can see that in also Haryana we can have this Tiliar Lake in Rohtak, and it is also affected by the water hyacinth, because some kind of pesticides and fertilizers add to the water bodies, and they grow the algae and water plants like water hyacinth on the surface and create increase in the DO amount and the biological oxygen demand. Now religious means various kind of, we can say that areas like now Kumbh is there, and in Haridwar and other areas where the water bodies, there are many ghats and they are also creating water pollution. Many people are having the bath on the various precious occasions, and that also creates some of the water pollution. They put their clothes there and also live there for some time and have shampoo and all other things, and they mix that thing in the water. Also ashes are put into the holy river that like Ganga, and that also creates some water pollution. Now the effects of water pollution, you can easily see the effect of the water pollution, because water contains many aquatic organisms, and aquatic organisms are died because of this increase in the pesticide, fertilizers and organic compounds in the water bodies, and they absorb these harmful poisonous substance to the body, and they can't have such much of the resistance for the longer period of time. And because of the loss of or lack of oxygen in the water, because the DO content, the dissolved oxygen content becomes less in the water bodies when the pesticide and the fertilizers are more. As you know that we have in the potable water, which is fit for drinking purposes, potable water having the 12 to 16 milligram of oxygen dissolved in the water. But when we are talking about the water, polluted water, we have a kind of scenario that we can see that there is a almost nil dissolved oxygen content, and the fishes die at the dissolved oxygen content of 8 milligram per liter, and only a catfish can survive up to the dissolved oxygen of 4 milligram per liter, and all other organisms, you can see here the whale or the dolphin, all the aquatic organisms die because of the water pollution. Now rivers are changed into dustbin in many areas because of this putting of the non-biodegradable waste, anything which is not required by the human beings are just we have to put in the rivers, as we are not going to use the river water. So water pollution is occurred because we put some of the solid waste into the river directly and causes harm to the water. Then if we are doing like this, the shortage of drinking water will appear certainly. By 2025 we have very much less, 50% less of the drinking water supplies, and today we have shortage of water in various months. Except the monsoon season, we have less or shortage of the drinking water, pure drinking water. We have water with the turbidity, we have water with the TDS content, we have water with the salinity content, and this water is not fit for drinking purposes, also creates some of the diseases. Like I told you about the fluorosis, arsenicosis, that water contain many heavy metals, the taste of the water is changed, the color of the water is changed, turbidity is there. So these are the things through which you can't access to the pure drinking water supplies, and then you have to drink the impure water also in the recent days, coming days, and the government will not pay for this. So it's your our duty to just protect the water from pollution. Now increase in the BOD is another effect. As I told you that BOD is the biological oxygen demand, and it is the measurement of the oxygen required by the organic content which is present in the water bodies to decompose. Now pure water has less than 1 ppm. If the water is polluted, it is greater than 5 ppm, and it creates the death of the various fishes, as you see in the picture. And biological oxygen demand is basically that the living organism which are living in the water bodies require how much of the oxygen, so their demand is increasing. Then they have to their heartbeat rate is increase, their blood pressure increase, and they have to survive at low oxygen, and slowly they will become die. Now how to control the water pollution? This is the most important question, and we want to control this. Then how we can control the water pollution? Then one thing is the stabilization of the ecosystem, that we should go for the aquatic ecosystem, we should stabilize it, we should pure it, we should plant some of the plants which are purifying the water, some of the species which eat the other species, or the bacteria, viruses which are harmful for the water. Now using water hygiene to remove the water pollutants, as I say you that we have to use some of the plant species to remove some of the non minerals, or the we can say the non biodegradable contents from the water, or the pollutants from the water. So this is also part of the phytoremediation, that how to remove the pollutants from the water. Now using some chemical methods also we can control the water pollution, that is the ion exchange method, reverse osmosis, that is RO, which we have in the houses also, through which we can use the ocean water also. Then the precipitation method, coagulation method, cooling method. After heating we cool the water and just condensed by this is also the distillation process, we can say, that in which the 100% pure water can be regenerated. Then recycling, renovation, recharge, reuse of the water, these all are the methods through which we can control the water pollution, and we now discuss this all the methods in detail. Firstly, what are the stabilization of ecosystem means? Now reduction in the water waste of the water, like if we are using some of the process, we just certainly going to add some of the pollutants to the air, because in every of the human process the waste is generated. So now reduction of the waste at the source level, at the point where the we are adding the source, because the water pollutants have two types of sources, point sources and non-point sources. Now through those sources, the point sources which we are identify that these are the sources through which the water get polluted, at that site of the source we should reduce the water pollution. Now we should not put the sewage, we should not put the industrial waste or the organic waste to the water bodies. We should just treat the water. We should do not bury the organic matter. We should see the fishes are not dying, so we should go for the fish management categories. Those fishes which are able to survive at higher pollutant concentration, or which need less of the DO content, are to be managed in those water bodies. Now proper use should be there in the ecosystem, like aquatic ecosystem. There should be management in the pond or the lake or the canal, so that water bodies are not getting to the polluted. Now the second thing is important for our household or the domestic waste. The second thing which I caused that told you about the cause, That is our domestic waste. Now sewage treatment plant. Now what we happen, there is a house. Now from house there should be pipes, and pipes, through pipes the waste water or the sewage goes to the sewage treatment plant. And there we have the 3-step process: primary treatment, secondary treatment, the final treatment. Through after that final treatment, filtered, and the water which is bleached, that is put to the water bodies, so that that can be you can see here the picture. In this picture you can easily see that water bodies are blue in color. Okay, now the water coming from the sewage coming from the treatment center. Now first is the screening. जालियाँ लगी होंगी स्क्रीनिंग में, जस्ट देर इज़ अ नथिंग लाइक दैट कि हमने पाइपलाइंस के थ्रू वाटर को क्या किया, वेस्ट वाटर को, सीवेज वाटर को एक ऐसी जगह से पास किया जिसमें बहुत बड़ी बड़ी लोहे की पाइप्स हैं या जालियाँ लगी हुई हैं, जिसमें से वो जो सॉलिड और सस्पेंडेड मैटर है वो रिमूव हो जाएगा. आफ्टर दैट वी पुट टू द प्राइमरी ट्रीटमेंट. प्राइमरी ट्रीटमेंट में क्या होगा, दैट वी हैव टू पुट सम कोगुलेटिंग एजेंट्स, वी हैव टू पुट सम एलिमेंट्स विच, और उसको हम प्रॉपरली रोटेट करते रहते हैं. तो उसमें से क्या होगा, कलर चेंज हो जाएगा. स्टेबलाइजिंग एजेंट डालेंगे कोगुलेशन से, वो सारी जो इम्प्योरिटीज़ हैं, मिट्टी है, डस्ट है, क्ले है, वो सब नीचे बैठ जाएगी. और उसके बाद पानी को फिर कहाँ लेके जाएंगे, सेकेंडरी ट्रीटमेंट में. सेकेंडरी ट्रीटमेंट में क्या होता है कि वहाँ पर उसमें जो ऑर्गेनिक इम्प्योरिटीज़ हैं, उसमें जो बैक्टीरिया वायरसेस हैं, दैट आर कंट्रोल्ड. उसमें हम क्या करते हैं, अलग अलग मेथड्स हैं उसके अंदर. हमारा एक मेथड है हमारा एरिएंटेड टैंक, जिसमें हम क्या करते हैं कि एरिएशन करते हैं, और एरिएशन के बाद वाटर में से उसको पास करते हैं एरिएटेड टैंक्स के अंदर. तो उसमें क्या होगा, जो बैक्टीरिया वगैरह हैं वो उस एरिएटेड टैंक में जो एक मीडिया बना होगा उसमें ग्रो करेंगे, और सारे उस पर स्ट्राइक कर जाएंगे, और बाकी पानी को हम रिमूव कर लेंगे. देन द थर्ड ट्रीटमेंट और द फाइनल ट्रीटमेंट इज़ द रिमूवल ऑफ नाइट्रोजन एंड फॉस्फोरस फ्रॉम द वाटर बॉडीज़. और अगर नाइट्रोजन फॉस्फोरस निकाल लेंगे तो यूट्रोफिकेशन नहीं होगा ग्रोथ के लिए. और उसके बाद नाइट्रोजन फॉस्फोरस निकालने के लिए कुछ केमिकल ट्रीटमेंट होते हैं. वो केमिकल ट्रीटमेंट आपके उन ट्रीटमेंट से हम क्या करते हैं, नाइट्रोजन को रिमूव कर देते हैं और फॉस्फोरस को रिमूव कर देते हैं. तो वेस्ट वाटर में अब क्या होगा, प्योरली वो ब्लू कलर का जो वाटर है उसको फिल्टर करके हम उसको रिवर्स में फाइनली पुट कर सकते हैं. नाउ थर्ड मेथड इज आयन एक्सचेंज मेथड. दिस इज अ टर्शरी काइंड ऑफ मेथड. In tertiary method, all the nitrate which are soluble and not fit for the drinking purposes, because agar nitrate content is higher in the water, then we have a syndrome like that, blue baby syndrome, or we have diseases like that. So we should remove it, and it is not easy to remove. It is very difficult process to remove. So we use some resins or the zeolites which can exchange the nitrate content from the hydroxide ion. Nitrate contains NO3 negative ion, hydroxide ion OH negative ion. So we just exchange the cations nitrate to OH negative ions. So in this way, the polluted water which contains nitrate ion are exchanged with the hydroxide ion. The positive ions can be charged through the resins, that are the zeolites, H ions, and both H ions and OH ion combine to form the water. That you know, the purest form of water, H and OH ions. Now this is the pictorial diagram through which you can understand, in which the calcium and magnesium ions are present, and that is the untreated water, and we just replace them with the sodium ion. Ion exchange resin is there. The big dots and big dots are the ion exchange resin, and we just change this red dots with the yellow dots. And in this way, the calcium and magnesium which are creating the hardness in the water, permanent hardness or the temporary hardness, can be removed. And after that, after in this water, the below in the arrow you will find the only sodium ions are present in the treated water. So in this way, the hardness can be removed from the water. Permanent hardness can be removed by the exchange process. Now the reverse osmosis, this is the one of the emerging technology which are we using, in which the pressure is applied. As you know, the osmosis is the process in which the water moves from the higher pressure to the lower pressure. But in the reverse osmosis, we just reverse the process, in which we are taking the dirty water, the contaminated water, or the polluted water, and we pass with the pressure to the semi-permeable membrane, and then we get from that only the water moves from, only the water, that is, water has a less concentration, so only the water moves from the semi-permeable membrane, and we get the fresh water from, or the pure form of water from that area. So it is the applied pressure which is most important over here, that how much pressure is applied over a semi-permeable membrane to get the pure form of water. Now in this water, salty water, that is the ocean water, can be purified, and easily we can remove the salt content from the water and drink it. Now the point sources, that I told you that there are some factories through which the water get contaminated. So we have the point sources, which are the areas through which the water bodies can pollute it, and non-point sources are, on the other hand, are the pollutants emitted from the multiple sources. And contaminated water after rain has to travel lots of area, and we can't find the proper position at which they are get polluted. So some of the nutrients pollution are also there. Some wastewater, fertilizer, sewage have high concentration of nutrients, and they just put that all the way nutrients into the water bodies, and then they increase the growth of algae, weeds, and other water bodies, and clog the water taps and filters, and that makes the water undrinkable. So too much algae is not good for us, because it consumes all the oxygen in the water and creates some a kind of dying environment for the water organisms or the aquatic animals. So they just die because of the starvation or less amount of oxygen present in it. So nutrients, when present in the water, like wastewater, sewage, or other things, when they're present in the water, they are creating a dying environment for the fishes or microbes, or so that should not be in the water. Now the groundwater pollution, until to above slides we have discussed about the surface water pollution. Now we are discussing about the groundwater pollution. In the groundwater pollution, we can easily see that the water become scarce to us, because it is filtered through the layers of the soils and get into the water table. Now when humans apply the pesticides and chemicals too much to the soil, and they are washed deep into the water bodies, so by the rainwater or by the seepage of the water, these water slowly and slowly move to the underground bodies, and then it create some kind of the underground water pollution. And when we drink it through the wells and other turbines and other things, we are not able to drink the purest form of water, because the underground water is also very much polluted nowadays. That contains fluoride content, arsenic content, and other things. In Haryana we have lots of and lots of water pollution content is there. We can't say we can easily see this child is not able to drink the purest form of water. Now we can see the algae over in the water, and that is also deadly for it, but he is not able to find the water, so he is drinking it. So suspended water is also there. Some pollutants which are remain in the water bodies, चाहे आप उसको filter भी कर लें, they are not dissolved, but they remain in the water body suspended. And suspended world means that they are not able to settle down. Now they are harmful, and they also kill the aquatic life also, because in the floor of the bodies they are remaining in the water bodies and creating some kind of the pollution. Now chemical water pollution, I told you earlier also that chemicals, when put to the agricultural fields, and we have never thought that, farmers never thought that these chemical goes to the water bodies and then goes to their bodies and create some kind of cancers and end up to various kind of diseases. And we must think that chemicals should not be put to the water bodies or directly to the water bodies, like they may increase the concentration of insects, pests, or weeds. And metal or solvents also decreases the immunity of us, and also because they are poisonous. So they not only harmful for the aquatic life, like as I told you that mercury, when goes to the water bodies, mercury is poisonous, and methyl mercury is the example. When it is added to the Japan in 1946 in Minamata Bay, it creates the Minamata disease. Now there are some many poisonous forms that create not only death of the aquatic plants, aquatic animals, like especially fishes. They also made some kind of develop some of the brain diseases to us, and make infertility, less reproduction rates, and kill of most of the animals. uh, so chemical water pollution should be controlled. Oil spillage, now you can see that I also showed you earlier the pictures of the water bodies, that that oil can move miles and miles and create death to the especially swans, fishes, and all other things. Feathers of the seabirds, animals also stick to them, and they are not able to fly, so they die because of this. And oil pollution, because I told you that the runoff of the shipping and dumping of the oil to the oceans every surface every day, oil spillage creates some of the problem to the local marine wildlife, fishes, birds, these sea otters and all the aquatic animals, they are very much affected with the oil, because oil does not get absorbed or dissolved in the water bodies, and they remain on this water surface. When they do not find the pure form of oxygen, and they suffocate, they want to come to the above surface, and they find the oil, and the oil stick to their bottom, their eyes, nose, and their water bodies. Their lungs are not able to get the pure oxygen, and they are not able to fly, and they are not able to respire also. So some animals die because of this. So you can see here the drastic picture from a ship or a cruise, that water contains so much of the oil, and there is a problem to how to extract this oil, wastage of oil as well as the water bodies. Now mining activities, that mining activities includes the process like crushing of rocks, extracting coal and other minerals from the underground, and these things not only good for us because our industries, and because the raw material is contained from that, but no, environmentally, if we think that this increases the harmful chemicals and increases the amount of toxic substances in the soil as well as in the water bodies, and create some kind of the health problems. Now this is the picture in which the trailing, where from the and surface mining is done, and now you can see the trailings, or where they wash the ores and other bauxite and other minerals, and after they just put that into the water bodies and make the canal or the river a drastic like situation. Now this is the plastic pollution, or the present in the marine areas, seashores. This is the underground picture. This is the picture from inside the ocean, in which you can see the floating plastics, microplastics, thermocols, sticks, and all other waste which are dumped by the household waste to earth. So use water wisely. It is the advice from my side also, and from all other environmentalists, that do not keep the tap water running when you are not using it. Also can reduce the amount of water using in the washing and bathing. If you are using two buckets, you should use one bucket, or if you are using one bucket, use a half bucket. If you do this significantly, you can prevent the shortage of water, and also the dirty water needs to be treated also. Don't put some kind of antifreeze, coolants, paints, thinners, oils, and all other sink drains to the toilets. These all chemicals are very much effective. When they are mixed with the water bodies or the sewage, they create some kind of problem, and after that, that water mixes with the water bodies which we drink, and create cancer and other problems. Now thank you very much to be a patient listener, and if you have any problem, you can ask me directly and comment also. Okay, thank you, beta.